episode 11 of Conscious Caregiver Conversations. This is going to be a very quick conversation. Unfortunately, Sam is not able to join us this evening or this morning if you are on the other side of the world. So I just had a couple things that felt really relevant that I wanted to hop in here and talk about for our 11th episode. And I think that there is no coincidence that episode 11 is happening the evening before January 11th, so 1/11, and we have a new moon tomorrow. It's the 1/11 portal tomorrow. There is just a lot going on that is channeling the energy of new beginnings and fresh starts. So if you thought that January 1st, 2024 was like the fresh start for the year, I am actually feeling that this week is so much of a fresh start for so many of us. I've actually been feeling over the last 10 days that there has been a lot of residue from 2023. 2023 for many of us was a challenging year, a year of massive healing, a year of all kinds of transformation that has not felt very fantastic. It has been was a really challenging year. And what I have noticed from January 1st to today is that we've carried a lot of residue of those feelings, of those challenges, of that healing, of the stickiness, of all the things that so many of us are ready to leave behind and step into these new portals of power that we've created because of the healing that we have done in 2023. And so today, leading into tomorrow, I'm really feeling like we have finally managed to get the grease cutter, if you will, that is going to cut through that residue and allow us to actually fully step into everything that 2024 is going to hold for us. And that doesn't mean that we're not going to encounter challenges. That doesn't mean that there isn't more healing waiting for us, but it's not going to be the same density and the same stickiness and the same stuckness that we felt throughout the year of 2023. 2023 was such a cocoon year for so many of us, and I'm really feeling like 2024 is going to be the year that we finally emerge like the beautiful butterflies that we are. Not to sound super cliche, but that's really what this healing journey is all about, is we have these time periods in our life where we go into these cocoons and we have all of this healing and all of this growth that needs to take place. And then when we come out on the other side of it, we're able to be those butterflies that emerge from those cocoons and really get to step into new portals of power and, a new chapter in our lives. So I've been feeling that a lot, and ones in alchemy. So remember I said this is episode 11, and tomorrow is the 1/11 portal. It's January 11th. Ones are new beginnings and reclamation and reformation. It's all about starting anew. And then on top of that, we have a new moon tomorrow, which is also about starting anew. So this is really that time to anchor in whatever intentions it is that we have for the year. And I talked a lot about intentions last week and the importance of not necessarily setting a resolution, but setting intentions, getting very clear about the energy that you want to bring into this year and carry throughout the year, and what it is you're looking to create. I'm learning more and more, or I shouldn't say learning, but I'm being reminded more and more and on a whole new level that it really is about who we're being and not so much about what we're doing. What we are doing, or what we are meant to do, or what we are going to do, create, etc., is a direct result of who we're being in every moment. And so some of the things that have come up for me have been words and ideas like embodiment and acceptance. I've had a really hard time accepting where I'm at. I have such amazing dreams and a mission that I really want to step into and create, and I've been so eager and so anxious to do that. But in having that desire, I've had a really hard time accepting where I'm at now in terms of my career and everything that I am creating. And then the embodiment piece. The embodiment piece is so important, right? Sam and I come on here each week and we talk about what it looks like to be a conscious caregiver. And nobody is perfect. Perfection does not live here. So to be able to embody 100% of the time is just not going to happen. We are half divine and half human is what I always say. So we are divine beings that are in a human body having a human experience, but we're also having a human experience, right? So embodying 100% of the time is not possible. But I know that there's so much more that I can do to embody. And then what I realized in working through some of my own stuff with my mentors, with my homeopath, is that I need to surrender on a whole new level. And over the last 3 years of my healing journey, I have learned how to do some surrendering. But with what I've had going on over the last year plus, I've realized that I've really started to try to control again. I've really started to try and just have control over every little thing and every little person that I work with. And in doing that, I can only do what is capable within the human experience. And what I mean by that is I'm basically getting in my own way. I'm not allowing the divine to come in and the divine to move. I am doing it within my own human capacity, which is limited, but the divine is limitless. So I've ultimately decided that I am going to allow and step into a whole new level of surrender. And in that level of surrendering to what is, I am able to create space for the embodiment and the acceptance that I desire to also step into this year. And this is that time to anchor in those feelings. I have had a really good day today, and it's because I've surrendered. I've surrendered. And so I'm feeling really good and really energized and feeling this spaciousness that I've not felt a whole lot of this year. And it is because of that surrender. So I'm really working to anchor in those feelings because this is the time. The energy is ripe. The energy is ready for us to feel on all levels, not just to have the mental intention, not to just think what we desire to create, but to feel it and to anchor in those feelings. So I'm really trying to anchor that in right now with this new moon, with these new beginnings, with this new chapter, right? This new year. This is the time. The energy is ripe for it. The other thing that I just want to mention, I talked about the residue that I have felt from 2023, the first 10 days of this year. The Schumann Resonance is a measure of the solar flares and the light that has been coming on to the planet. And it's important for us to know as conscious caregivers that when there is a lot of light coming on to the planet, that the light is always going to shine on the darkness, right? So the light is always going to shine on our shadow aspects, and it is going to illuminate the parts of us that still need healing, the parts of us that we still need to work on, and not only the parts of us, but the parts of others. And so when others, especially those who are not on this conscious caregiver journey and are not aware of the light and how it works and the fact that it's illuminating all of these things, they are going to feel some type of way. They are going to act out. They are not going to show up as their best selves, right? And we're going to experience that. It's going to be in our field. And for some of us, that's going to be very triggering. So not only are we going to have to deal with our own shadow aspects that are coming up, but we have to deal with the shadow aspects of others, and then it's up to us to take a deep breath and to be really conscious about how we respond to it, to realize that what they are dealing with is not about us, it's about them. But likewise, what we are dealing with is not about others, it's about us. Right? So being really consciously aware of what energy is ours, what energy is not, but then the energy that is ours, taking radical responsibility for that. So in other words, if somebody else is acting out in some type of way that is very triggering to us, and we feel that coming up in us, and it makes us feel some type of way. Maybe it frustrates us, maybe it angers us, maybe it puts us in fear, whatever it might be. We have to have the conscious awareness that that anger, frustration, fear, anxiety is ours. It's not anybody else's, and it's not anybody else's fault. It's ours. So we have to take radical responsibility for owning what comes up and really sitting with it and looking at it so that we can do the healing work around it. And we'll talk more about triggers. We've talked about triggers before, but what's so important about this is that the light coming in, the light that's been coming in the first week and a half of this year, is shining and illuminating those shadow aspects. And so it's causing us to feel some type of way, and it's so easy for us to point the finger and say, well, if staffing would just be better, if my manager would just give me the schedule I wanted, whatever it might be. We all do it. We all have the tendency when we feel some type of way to look outside of ourselves and blame the circumstances, the people, the events that are occurring around us. But we have to realize that what's happening around us is merely just a reflection of what's happening within us. And nothing is going to bring that to our awareness more than all of this light coming onto the planet. So if you've been feeling funky, if you've been feeling super emotional, if you've noticed a ton of agitation or fear or anxiety or anger or frustration show up in your field, it's there for a reason. It's being illuminated by all of this light that's coming onto the planet. It doesn't feel good. It feels like total crap. But it's serving a purpose because it's letting you know, hey, you're still holding this. It's here for you to look at and heal if you want to, so that you don't take it into this next chapter. Right? So those are just a few of the things that I wanted to highlight, because I know for me, the first 10 days of this year have felt totally cray. Like totally cray. And then I saw what the Schumann Resonance was doing, and I was like, well, there's that. And then energetically, we have had a bit of a lapse, an overlap, if you will, from 2023. We had that residue, that stickiness. But I feel it lifting, I feel it clearing with this new moon, with this new chapter, with this 111 alchemy of new beginnings. And it's the perfect time to really think about what you desire to create over this next year and what that feels like in your body. Not just looking at it mentally, but really anchoring in how that feels. Does it flow with grace and ease? Does it bring joy to your life and excitement? How does that feel in your body? Does it feel light and airy? Does it feel super like what does that feel like? Anchor that in. I know I'm trying to anchor it in because last year was, it was tough, y'all. And I am ready to feel lighter. I am ready to flow. I am ready to just feel amazing. So I am hanging on to this for dear life because this is what I want to take into 2024. This is the energy. And I wish that for all of you also. So with that being said, we are going to close this week's live. Short, sweet, hopefully to the point, hopefully gave you some things to think about and anchor in because 2024 is it. It is our year, and we are going to create some magic with this conscious caregiver way. Have a great week, y'all. See you next week.